let's speak about the markets. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor, and I know that literally everybody is feeling the pain as of right now, myself included, and that's one thing I want to speak about in today's video. Some things that I am going to be changing, and some things that are going to change on this channel going forwards, okay? But the stock market crash that everybody is speaking about. Now, there is an awful lot of panic today. Meet Kevin made a video, where was it, yesterday, where I sold stocks in crypto, a $20 million market bet. You can see I don't watch Meet Kevin's videos, but I've seen a lot of people speaking about this. Graham Stephan 2 days ago, an urgent warning for all investors. You see the views that these videos are picking up in comparison to the average video. They are getting a lot, okay? So that would show us that a lot of people are afraid right now of the market crash. Probably because a lot of people are already bleeding, and probably because a lot of the market has already crashed. It may not appear to have, because the biggest of the large cap companies in the world have been holding indexes up, but the large majority of small to mid caps are down absolutely massively already. So while the indexes don't show it, a lot of people are bleeding very badly. Financial education, pretty much the only stock market YouTuber I actually watch on a 1 or 2 day basis. He's spoken about these things as well. Go watch these videos. He's genuinely, his videos are incredible lately. He was the first guy who got me onto the investing space. I actually did an interview with him on this channel once. He's an awesome guy. Go watch this video right here. He speaks about everything that's going on. He spoke about me, Kevin. He speaks about history. It's fantastic. I just wanted to make my thoughts on this, because as a YouTuber and as somebody who really started around the March 2020 crashes, we've seen this before, you know what I mean? I might make myself a little bit bigger for today. Oh no, that looks weird. Anyway, right, hopefully that's not too bad quality. Pre-market stock trading. We look at this. Oh, the futures are considerably better than they were. They were down an awful lot more, but fear and greed index, we can see that people are a little bit more fearful than greedy. I think this number is going to come way down here. I think there is a lot more fear in the markets than this right here shows. Look, Amazon was down 6% today. It's down 1.5% pre-market. Let's see if it's still around there. Even worse, Disney with a 7% red day. Netflix down more than 25% in literally 3 days of trading. Things have gone absolutely insane. The reason I bring up when I started uploading was I went back and had a look at September 4th, 2020. The stock market is crashing, and you can see this here. This is so interesting to go look back on, but Microsoft was down 6.2%. Apple was down 8% on the day. Google 5% on the day. Netflix 5%. Amazon nearly 5%. This was September 4th, 2020. All of these things were down huge. Let's just go have a look at Netflix stock just out of interest. Back then, when was it? September 2020-ish, somewhere around here. And I mean, yeah, it went up an awful lot despite what seemed like the absolute end of the world. I think that's what needs to be spoken about right now. A lot of people got into the market, myself included, over the last 2 years. And the stock market has not acted or traded normally whatsoever. It has been, I don't want to say a once in a lifetime type of market conditions, because that's not true. These things do happen, and they can happen quite often, but they don't happen they don't happen the whole time, basically, is what I think needs to be said. And a lot of people have come to think that 6.2% moves in Microsoft are normal, or 8% moves in Apple are normal, whereas historically they really are not. I think that's something that needs to be understood. The point I'm trying to make is that when people are making these kind of videos, when in the span of 2 days we see Graham Stephan, Meet Kevin, and Financial Education all come out with videos along this line. I mean, I haven't watched this one from Jeremy yet, but I am preparing for a recession. Things like this coming out regularly worry people, and they worry people an awful lot. And I could come on here, and I've done it in the past, and I could have loads of quotes, and I could say it's about time in the market, not timing the market, and things like this. You can force quotes from the great investors down people's throats all day long, but at the end of the day, just saying a few quotes and actually living through what is a market crash, a market correction without a doubt, is a completely different story, especially for people who maybe haven't gone through this before. Because what has to be mentioned about this video I have here, when this happened, I remember stocks would go up really quickly again. Whereas as of late, stocks haven't been going up really quickly. Stocks have been going down. It's a different time than it was back towards the end of 2020, completely and utterly. There are way more fears now. Real fears, not just the Roni, but inflation fears, etc., which put growth, which put small caps, which put mid caps, which put companies that don't have the best balance sheets in the world in a far worse position. And so for me, as an investor right now, as somebody who has bled, as somebody who today is probably going to realize 5 figures of losses after balancing portfolio, somebody who held on to stocks for way too long, somebody who was up, in certain companies 100%, certain penny stocks, and is now down 50%. There's some expensive lessons to learn, my friend. Some really expensive lessons, you know what I mean? That 5 figures goes an awful long way. And it's all gone, you know what I mean? But that is one of the lessons. And again, I'm going to make a little bit more of a separate video on this because I do want to keep it real with you guys. That is going to be happening. The guys in the Patreon know I sent you guys a message earlier on. You will know exactly what I sell, don't worry. But I'm not selling my Apples. I'm not selling my Facebooks, my Googles, my Amazons. I'm not selling the really solid companies. I'm not selling the companies with incredible balance sheets, with lots of cash on the sidelines. I'm not selling my coursers, okay? Companies with good forward PEs relative to the large majority of the market. I'm not selling my Palantirs, growth stocks that I really do believe in, who have huge catalysts over the next 6 months to 12 months. What I am selling is some of the stuff that could perform well in a bull market, in an incredible market, a market filled with optimism, a market where people would throw money everywhere. But we're not in that market anymore. So these companies don't perform well. It really is that simple. Times have changed. That's why you don't see as many people speaking about penny stocks, We made loads of money on penny stocks, but we had the market conditions for it. We don't anymore. Even look at cryptos. I mean, I'm starting to try and get into the crypto game a little bit after this huge crash that has happened. Look at Bitcoin. Like, wow, down at $33,000, down more than 50%. I mean, just look at the top cryptos here, down 10, 12, 18% for Sol. I mean, it's pretty insane. You know what I mean? It's happening in every market. People are selling their stocks. People are selling their cryptos. But where are they putting it? They're not putting it back into stocks yet because of crash fear. They're not putting it into crypto because of crash fear. Where are they going to put it? Real estate prices in Ireland right now are disgusting. I know in a lot of the US they're disgusting as well. Are people who are invested in crypto and stocks going to go all in on bonds? No, that's not realistic either. There is a lot of money on the sidelines right now, my friends. And that is part of the reason why things aren't going back up, because people aren't buying things. And that's why me personally, I'm not in a huge rush to go all in. I mean, I have been buying stocks for a month, and I remember getting a lot of hate, like when mid caps and small caps were at their peaks, when we were up 100, 200%, and a lot of these companies with market caps less than 100 million, people saying you're a hater, you don't believe in them, etc. But if I had have kept buying all of those when I didn't think the valuations were good, I would have lost a whole lot more money. I should have believed in myself a bit more and sold those positions. But anyway, so until something changes, okay, until there is confidence in a market somewhere, I don't know if it's crypto, I don't know if it's stocks, I don't know where it's going to be, but until something changes, why would people buy things? I mean, I'm one of them. I am cash heavy. I have been for a long time, and I'm still not going heavy into the markets because I still think that a lot of things have a long way to go. And I mean, when you look at a company like Netflix and you see that they can drop more than 25% in the span of 3 days, that shows you just how real it is right now. You look at Amazon, 5 days down 10%. I mean, these things aren't normal. You look at the month, down nearly 16%. The 6-month chart, they're down 22%. That's not normal for a company like Amazon. Even on that yearly chart, look at that, down 13%. But when you look at that 5-year chart, they're still up massively. And keep in mind that this includes the whole 2020 crash. And the same will go, let's say, for Disney stock. We look at that 5-year chart, boom, big crash. They're still up only 25% to be fair, but beforehand they were up close to 100%, which for a dividend stock, quite good. For me personally right now, guys, I just think we're better off having our money in these companies that have better forward ratios, that have shown us over the last 10, 15, 20 years they have performed consistently well. It's not really a small cap market right now. Mid cap, yes, still my favorite stocks out there. Some of them, at least, is going to be Corsair. I mean, PE ratio at 17.26 for this company is fantastic. It really is. And we don't have years of public information from them, but we do have years that we can go back and look at how their brand has grown, etc., etc. Palantir is a similar story. Not quite comparable, but look, at 13, $1.50 a share. Look at that yearly chart. That is absolutely insane, my friends. Whoa. But these are the kind of companies I am going to be interested in dollar cost averaging into a little bit more. There is so much fear in the markets right now, okay? Just sit back for a minute. Take a look at your portfolio. This is what I'm doing right now. And be completely honest with yourself. I'm looking at companies now, I'm like, why am I invested in this company right now? It's terrible. I should have sold months ago and reduced my losses. I didn't. Tax write-off, whatever, you know, I'll find an excuse that it's not as bad as it is, but at the end of the day, it's quite bad. I would be better off selling these companies at a loss, putting my ego out of the way, you know, not being afraid to be open with you guys on here and relieve some potential backlash, excuse me. But the smart thing to do is still to get rid of them and put more money into these solid companies. So going forward on the channel, you are going to see some things change. Now, I'm still going to be interested in the likes of, you know, my Lucid Motors. I love my Lucid Motors. Does it fall in line with what I think is going to perform the absolute best over the next 6 months? No. I mean, there's a lot of things that could be better. You know, they don't have great ratios. They don't have this fantastic history to look back on. They're not a Disney. They're not an Amazon. They're not an Apple. I still think now is a great time to buy solid growth. Do I think Corsair is safer than Lucid right now? Yes. Do I think Palantir is safer than Lucid? Not necessarily. Maybe at current prices, it's hard to say. Do I think that these growth, these mid-caps, these companies that don't have absolutely insane history behind them are going to struggle? Yes. Does that matter with a 1 to 5 year outlook? If a company is strictly undervalued, whatever valuation metrics you want to use, if you want to go do your discounted cash flow, if you just want to look at forward PEs, etc., if it is undervalued, it's undervalued, regardless of whether or not the market is good or bad. So just be aware of that, my friends. I don't think there is need to panic. I don't think panic is ever a good thing in the stock market, but there is need to be reasonable. There is need to reevaluate and understand that the market is not the same as it was a year and a half ago. There is need to, you know, hold yourself accountable and make changes when needed, which is exactly what I am going to be doing going forwards. But anyway, my friends, that's just my thought on the whole situation. I woke up to a few DMs from people, both people just worried about the crash, not really understanding what to do. And then people ask me, what do I think about all of the big YouTubers speak about all these things? And I mean, it is what it is. Of course, they're going to be speaking about it. It is the biggest thing that's going on in the market now. It's the biggest moves we've seen in the market for months and months and months. And it doesn't have to disappear tomorrow. Just remember that, my friends. This could be dragged out, so don't feel the need to go all in all at once. But anyway, my friends, that's my thought on the situation. I really do appreciate you watching till the end. Hope that you're all doing okay, because I know when markets get like this, it really can take its toll on people's mental health, etc. If it is, maybe that is a sign to, you know, take a bit of a step back and look at your investing thesis, your philosophy, why you are investing in the first place. Maybe you're going a little bit too heavy on these higher risk players, so just, you know, take care of yourself first. If you enjoyed the video, maybe took some value, some insight, maybe I gave you something thought-provoking, please do feel free to hit that like button. Drop me a comment down below and subscribe if you're new around here. Anyway, guys, I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day. I'll see you in another video very soon. Peace.